Daniel Loveridge. I'm the general manager of the Home2 Suite, Salt Lake City East, and I've nominated Robbie Marchetti for the Personal Touch Award. Several months ago, when I first came to this hotel, I discovered that this property is by a lot of hospitals. And working by hospitals gives you plenty of opportunities to have personal touches. Usually these occur during the day. However, we had one special example that occurred during the night for our night auditor. Robbie Marchetti works from 11 p.m. till 7 in the morning. And we had a family who was staying with us with a 12-year-old son who was undergoing brain surgery for a condition he'd been battling for many years. As part of this surgery process, the 12-year-old boy had to stay awake all night long, and he was preparing for this process by staying up at the hotel. He didn't want to bother his family, so he'd come down to the lobby, and he would just hang out there talking to our night auditor. Robbie could have been put out by this, he could have been annoyed, he could have just blown off the 12-year-old boy and said, "No, leave me alone, I'm working." Instead, Robbie took a personal interest in this child, and he actually got interested in some of the games the kid was playing, played the games with the child, and helped him feel comfortable and helped him feel less stressed during this really stressful time. After everything was said and done and the successful surgery was over, this brave young man's father came to me and personally thanked me for all that Robbie had done for his son. He really meant a lot to this child, and he made the family very loyal to our company and to Hilton as a whole. Robbie, you and I rarely see each other as you're awake during the night when I'm sleeping, but I want to let you know personally how much I greatly appreciate what you do for our hotel. This particular story is an example of how you have a true impact on all of our guests' lives. Your loyalty to us as a company and your commitment to our hotel in particular make you such a valued member of my team. Thank you for being a part of the Home2.
With Western States, we're always talking about personal touch and focusing on the #1 story. Well, this is the #2. Hi, I'm Todd Light, General Manager here at the Spring Hill Suites in Logan, Utah. We've had an amazing year regarding personal touch. Through the efforts of our team, we've created a lot of memorable experiences. One of those in particular I'd like to share regarding Cammie Jensen, one of our housekeeping attendants. Cammie didn't share this with us. We found out about this through our guest, who had shared this on social media. I'm going to read her post directly from Instagram. It reads, "Rufus had a blowout, so I left his shorts in the sink, soaking. When I got back from lunch, I found this note, 'Thanks at Spring Hill Suites of Logan for going above and beyond. Someone give this girl a raise.'" And she had taken a picture of the note and posted that as well. This is the note from Cammie. "Hi, I finished scrubbing your little one's pants clean. I hung them on the shower door to dry. Have a great day, Cammie Housekeeping." Yeah, what an amazing story. I don't know many people who would do this. It's hard enough to do it for your own family, let alone someone else. Cammie wasn't looking for any recognition. She didn't share this with anyone. Thank you, Cammie. Thank you for being the special person that you are, always being selfless and caring. On behalf of myself, Western States Lodging, and all of our guests, we hope to have you with us for years to come. Enjoy the rest of your special day. You know, it's not always about what we don't do. Sometimes it's about what we do.
My name is Kate Eckhart. I'm the General Manager at the Home2 Suites in Murray, and my story is for Juliana Olson, nominated for Personal Touch. But this particular story is not only personal, but it's actually heroic as well. And there was a particular incident about 8 months ago that was luckily had a positive result, but it could have turned the other way. We had a 4-year-old boy drown in our pool at the hotel. Luckily enough that night, Juliana was working the desk. The woman that was in charge of the 2 young boys was paying attention to her cell phone and not to the children in the pool. This is what led to the young boy drowning. The woman didn't know what to do. She didn't know CPR, So she immediately scooped the boy up and ran the boy out to the lobby to where Julie was. Julie immediately took control, giving directions and conducting CPR. After what seemed like forever, the boy coughed up the water and began to breathe on his own. I have no doubt that Juliana's CPR training and cool and collective demeanor saved this boy's life. Juliana is very young herself and the mother of 3 children, and had just found out that she was pregnant, and her instincts had kicked in to take care of this child. What happens where the personal touch comes in is she really commanded the situation, and she commanded ownership of this child. She had the adult call 911 as guests were coming to check in. She was delegating to them on how they could help. As the boy was beginning to breathe on his own, she was cradling him and holding him and refusing to give him back to the adult that was responsible for him. She was not scheduled to work that night. We had a different front desk agent that was scheduled to work, and they had just switched the day before. And if that hadn't happened, the results might not have been the same. But Juliana is definitely a hero in this situation. Juliana, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for everything you do, not only with the situation with this young boy, but for everything you do that contributes to our hotel. Your heart runs deep and your emotions are raw, and I speak for every mother out there to thank you for this particular situation and how quick you responded.
I'm Leilani Palmer, Marketing Director for Legacy Retirement, and this is my personal touch story. You know, there's a lot of great people in this company, and I have had the fortunate privilege of working with one of the best. And that person is Matt Whitwer. January 30th of 2016 was my father's funeral and viewing, and it was up in Logan, Utah. The morning of his funeral and viewing, it was the worst storm, I think, of the whole season. There was snow everywhere, and the roads were horrible and treacherous, and I was just hoping that we could make it there on time and get there. A lot of people had canceled out because of the roads, which I understood. I was very emotional that day because, you know, I had thoughts of my father, and I was speaking at his funeral. And as I looked out into the audience, I recognized Matt, my boss, and it was like, what a surprise. Matt, of all people, I mean, he came, and it just made me feel so valued. And I know he went through the same terrible roads as I did. If any of you have ever traveled through Sardine Canyon, you'll know that it can be treacherous and scary. I can't tell you how that impacted me and made me feel, it just made me feel so comforted, and I felt the support there. Matt, I want you to know you're a gentle giant. You are a man that is very caring. You have a huge heart, and I'm grateful that you cared and showed up to my father's funeral on that treacherous, snowy day. Other people noticed your kindness and your caring ways, and I just want you to know that everything you do is heartfelt, and we want you to know that we care for you and love you for all that you do.
Hi, my name is Wanda Gerber. I'm the wellness nurse at Legacy Retirement in Mesa, Arizona. We have a very endearing story about one of our team members, Letha, and it is my honor to be able to tell you the story of Sierra and Letha. Sierra moved to Arizona from Tennessee several years ago, leaving her home and the dog kennels that she owned and operated. Sierra, however, was able to bring a little piece of Tennessee with her in her current dog, Lady. Sierra, with her mild dementia, oftentimes has a very strong connection with her past life and will get a little teary and a little blue when she thinks about her home in Tennessee. And what we hear from her is, I wish I could go home just one more time. Letha and Sierra formed a very quick, very strong bond. So Letha was hearing this, but more importantly, Letha was listening with her heart. And she saw how wanting to go home one more time affected Sierra's daily life. One evening, Letha was just surfing on the internet and she came across Google Earth. She figured out how to put Google Earth as an app onto her cell phone. The next day, Letha came to work and she went to find Sierra, and they sat down, and Letha was able to pull up a satellite view of Sierra's house and her dog kennels. Sierra was amazed and overjoyed. She was able to point out a lot of points of interest to Letha, and that includes where she found Lady on her front lawn. Sierra got teary, but they were tears of joy because she was back to her old stomping grounds again. We saw a change in Sierra. Instead of being quiet and withdrawn, Sierra began to smile. She began to engage in conversations with other residents and staff members. To this day, when Sierra gets sad and blue, she'll go to Letha and say, "Can you take me home again?" Letha always does. She always takes the time to sit with Sierra and take her back home to Tennessee. What we've noticed is every time that happens, their bond becomes stronger. Letha is the epitome of personal touch. Letha, over the years that I have known you, I can't begin to express how much I appreciate what you do every day. Your loving heart, your knowledge, your willingness to go wherever you need to go to help a resident is an amazing attribute to you. I don't know if I would like this job as much if I didn't have you here with me. Thank you for everything you do.
I'm Lindsay Hill, and I'm the General Manager of the Hampton Inn & Suites in Hillsboro, Oregon. And today I have the privilege of telling you about our extraordinary front desk supervisor, Diana. Diana has really gotten to know our guests on a personal level. The story I want to share with you today is about a guest who stays with us on a weekly basis, every single week, has for over almost 2 years now. About a year ago, we found out that he had stage 4 cancer. It really hit us all pretty hard. One day I walked out of my office and found Diana comforting his wife, and she'd taken the time to walk all the way down to the elevator with her and really console her, knew that she was going through a hard time. Diana came back to the desk and told me that they would be staying at another property for a couple weeks while he was going through chemo treatments, since we didn't quite have all of the amenities that they needed for those couple of weeks. Never did Diana worry about losing a guest who we had grown to know and love. She was mostly just concerned about his well-being, making sure he was comfortable when he was going through those cancer treatments. She had the idea of going shopping, getting him all of his favorite things, and really putting together a really nice note from us and our team, just letting him know that we cared about him, even though he couldn't be at our property with us. We were still thinking about him, so one day Diana got on shift and we went straight to the store. Because she had known him for over a year at this point, she knew exactly what he liked. So we got all of his favorites. We got Bear Claws, we got Oreo cookies, we got orange juice, everything that was going to make him feel even just a little bit more comfortable. And we put it in a great big red bag and we dropped it off at the front desk of another hotel, which is a little awkward for us, but we did it. And Diana had included a really sweet note saying, you know, this is from your Hampton family and we can't wait to welcome you back home in a couple weeks. And that is exactly, fortunately what we did. He is striving, doing really well, and he continues to be with us on a weekly basis at this point. Diana, I am so honored to have you a part of our team, and it is an extreme honor of mine to be able to nominate you for this award. I really appreciate everything that you do for our team, for our guests, and our property as a whole.
My name is Jenny Seaton. I've worked here at Legacy House of Taylorsville now for about 2.5 years. I'm the evening receptionist, so I work a couple nights a week and every other Saturday. I nominated Colton. It was about a year ago. It was January, February, just really cold winter outside. We have one car in my family, but we share it between 4 people, and the car broke down. I mean, it had been dying for quite a while. It was on its last leg, but it finally died. I live about 1.5 miles away, so when the car broke down, I still needed to come to work, so I would walk. It wasn't too bad in the afternoon because it was still daylight, but then getting off at 7:30, it was dark, and it was like 20 degrees. I'm not sure how Colton found out that I was walking home because I didn't say anything to anybody. I just finished my shift and walked out the door like I was going out to the parking lot, but it was one really, really cold night. And he said, "Hey, do you need a ride home?" I said, "Yeah, that would be really nice." And then on the way home, he asked me about the car situation. I said, "The car broke down right now and it's a couple $100s to fix." And so I didn't have that kind of money. But he didn't say anything more about it. And then it was about 2 weeks later, and he called me into his office and he said, "Jenny, I just need to talk to you for a minute." And he said, "As you know, my wife and I are gonna have a baby, so we've decided to get a larger car, and we would really like to give you our car." And I couldn't quite believe that he was gonna do that. And I said, "Well, how much do you want for it?" He said, "Nope, we just wanna give it to you." And so about a week later, he came in and he said, "Here's the keys to the car, here you go." It was a natural gas car. So he said, "Come on and I'll show you how to fill it up." So he drove me over to the gas station. Then he drove me back here and he said, "Okay, well, good luck and I've got to go." And he just left the keys with me and gave me the car. And I didn't have to walk anymore, and I didn't have to worry about going home in the dark through the neighborhood that was kind of dark and scary. I just can't believe that Colton did that for me. Colton, I can't tell you how you really changed my life when you gave me that car. I was thinking about having to quit working here because it was kind of scary walking home at night, and my husband was really worried about me doing that. But we really needed the money from the second job, and so I can't thank you enough for giving me that car because it allowed me to keep this job, which I love so much. Thank you.